Good lord, it's 1986 already. I can't believe it's already been 2 years since we all lost all our freedoms. Can't even say the N-word in public anymore. Hello everyone, I'm Mitsuda Midori, I'm a forensic scientist, and we're still playing Retro Game Challenge. Today, we begin the Haggle Man 2 release. And we are still being harassed by this giant floating head. Man, I hate it when that happens. You probably guessed already. The next set of challengers are in Haggle Man 2. Haggle Man 2, this time it's not Haggle Man 1. And your first challenge is this. Kill 2 enemies at the same time using the doors. Use the same colored doors. Okay, I've done this before by accident, but I don't know actually offhand if I'm going to be able to pull it off intentionally. Play Robot Ninja Haggle Man 2. Play Sega Saturn or Sega Sanshiro will beat you up. It probably would have been funnier if I actually could do a decent Sega Sanshiro impression. You know, hold on, I'm gonna... Sega Saturn Shiro! Anyway, yeah, use doors. Do you remember how to play Haggle Man? Dude, it's been a week. Part 2 is even harder than the first one. Like, keep on kicking, dude. Shaw. Yeah. Anyway, Haggle Man 2 just came out today. Of course, I went first thing in the morning to buy it. Oh, the fun we'll have. Oh, the shenanigans I feel like are about to ensue. So, what are you waiting for? You can say game on if you want. Got Haggle Man 2. And Game Fan. As usual, the issue dates are a bit ahead of where we actually are in time and space. Because space is warped and time is bendable, and looking futuristic is good for your bottom line. And when in doubt, read the free manual. My god. They very slightly... Hey, Walter, hello. My god. They very slightly updated the cover art. But no, hello Walter, it's good to see you. We've just started, not missed much. We just picked up a new game and we're looking through the manual to see what it has to tell us. Greetings from Gears. With sincere thanks. Thanks for buying Robot Ninja Haggle Man 2. See, you tell it's better because there's more of it. Before starting the game, we would like to ask you to take some time to read over this manual to ensure a safe and enjoyable gaming experience. Please keep this manual with the game for further reference. The story, Haggle Man's New Adventure. I don't know, I thought the New Adventures of Haggle Man was a real step down from the original. They gave it the new title in an attempt to promote it, make it sound cooler, but it was really obvious the anime budget went to shit. The stage this time is Neo-Nasukogen. I keep waiting for them to, like, release Haggle Man 3 and just have it be set in Neo Old Tokyo. Just straight up. It has been a year since the fight against Shingensai, and yet none of our cast have aged. A suspicious mech building has appeared in Neo-Nasukogen, and the princess has been kidnapped once again by Shingensai, who was supposed to be dead. The controls have not changed on any front. Although that's not true strictly, now we can actually activate our scrolls manually. No more having them go off immediately when we pick them up and losing them because there was nothing happening on screen. Progress. Yeah, that's actually kinda strange. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, on the one hand, it is very serendipitous. I'm probably using that word wrong. It makes sense that it would be. You know, the sequel would be an upgrade over the original game. But, you know, on the other hand, it's not a sequel, it's another game in the same collection that was released at the same time, so... Now we know they made Haggle Man 1 less good on purpose. And, like, this whole playthrough thus far, I have been saying, you know, I want this to be realistic to the way it was at the time. I want this to be, you know, a retro being alive in the 80s simulator first, and a mini-game collection second, but... I don't know, it still doesn't feel good knowing that you're getting bad games and on purpose. Anyway, this is, as I said, fundamentally the same game as Haggle Man 1. Controls are the same, the screen layout is the same. The gameplay mechanics are the same. You fight enemies, then you get a boss, then you beat the boss, then the door opens. Though now the bosses are wearing name tags. Isn't that convenient? You don't usually meet such nice bosses. Yep, you still jump on enemies, you still shoot them to stun them so you can jump on them easier. You still die in 2 hits. Doors work exactly the same as they did in the last game. You get the same 4 power-up options. Our big, like, mechanical improvement is, as I described already, you activate smart bombs manually, they do not just go off the moment you pick them up. This means that they aren't completely useless and you can actually use them somewhat strategically. Let's see how much they've upgraded our character profiles. Haggle Man. I want the power to protect the world! A robot ninja dedicated to justice. Born from the latest technology. He departs once more on a journey to rescue the princess. As always, he trains ceaselessly to battle evil. Does training do anything for robots? I mean, he can't grow muscles by working them out. If he was programmed to get better at, like, skill-based stuff through training... I mean, I don't know where his baseline is. Where would you set his baseline? Is he an actual child? Did he have to... Was he born as a tabula rasa, and did he have to learn how to walk for the course of several months? It just raises too many questions. Was there in Ghost in the Shell 1 a cyber dude who was lifting weights? Maybe. I have seen the first Ghost in the Shell, but it's been a very long time. Though given GTIS is, you know, whole big thing is about how we continue to practice humanity when, you know, technology renders a lot of it inconsequential. So I'd imagine that was probably, especially in the first movie, which I greatly enjoyed, by the way. I'll go watch it if you haven't already. Excuse me 1 second. I coughed. Yeah, it was probably... I mean, just knowing the character, it was probably Bato, and he was probably just doing that because it's his hobby. And the guy did give himself a huge muscular artificial body, which, I mean, fair. Anyway, we're only like halfway through the manual. The princess. They made her close her eyes. It's been a year, but she's finally figured out how to do it. We're all very proud of her. I think I'm... I think... No, I'm not doing it. She thinks she's in love with Haggle Man. Once again, our damsel in distress. Maybe Chingin has the hots for her? After being rescued from Chinginsai a year ago, she can't seem to stop thinking about Haggle Man. She trusts him completely. Wonder if Haggle Man likes pie. Little Kume. The only daughter of Haggle Man's maker, Zenjiosai. Call her with pink scrolls to have her defeat nearby enemies with hearts. She's been baking a lot lately. She can't stop herself from snacking. Is she getting fat? I mean... No? We can all see. We can all just see the game. And of course, Cyborg K9. Dash Dash and Woof Woof. Dash Dash and Woof Woof? In this economy? What do you think we are, millionaires? Anyway, it's a robot dog. Call him with blue scrolls to have him defeat enemies. He received upgrades and can now run over 300 miles per hour. However, afterwards, he needs to sleep for an entire day due to exhaustion. Not in game, though. He will in fact just come back if you call him again. See, this is what I was saying, like, what, 2 episodes ago? It feels like this is the sort of series that would have had an incredibly rich, expanded universe with manga and an anime OVA. If you're gonna go and make, you know, a game that's all about being in the 90s, okay, it's the 80s. If it were me, I would have made it in the 90s, but it's not me. Because I am a shitty programmer. I'm from the meat department, not the computer department. I should stream Hypnus Outlaw someday. I hate to say it, but I'm a genius. Little Zenmai, a baby robot ninja. Call her with yellow scrolls to have her defeat nearby enemies with her cry. Her IQ is now even higher. She can go to grad school, but she still isn't potty trained. Okay. Sad thing is I know that would also wind up being an integral part of the expanded universe. Now the enemies have just their sprites, not in-game art, which you might not be able to see while I've got it on the small screen, but they have very slightly, I'll just blow this up, updated our enemy designs. Lesser ninjas now sport, like, you know, glowing eyes. Aboto the Skull has these 2 pistons coming out of the back of his head. And the ideal place to shoot someone if you're doing execution style, incidentally. And Yoroi now have singular Cyclops eyes. See, they weren't just resting on their laurels while waiting to develop the next game. They did, in fact, put effort into things. And Dark Haggleman is now just wearing a skull as a mask. Is it a real skull, or is it just an edgy Hot Topic design? Who can say? Haggleman, I'll get you this time. He's voiced by Dr. Claw now. I'm running out of voices, okay? Built by Chingensai from the same blueprints as Haggleman. However, he lacks the spirit gear and is simply an empty shell. Severely angered after being defeated by Haggleman, you know, like empty shells are, his rage has blinded him to a point where even his maker, Chingensai, cannot control him. And of course, Chingensai. Ultimate power shall be mine! Bad guys always seem to have more fun. I should try to be evil someday. An evil scientist. He built yet another mech hideout in Neo-Nippon. Although he has built numerous robot soldiers, he is still unable to figure out the mystery of the spirit gear, and thus decides to kidnap the princess once more to lure Haggleman into his laboratory. And, oh, what's this? There appears to be a new enemy, the Super Mega Ultra Weapon Unknown. It is rumored that a powerful enemy awaits Haggleman on the top floor of the hideout. The detail of this enemy is still unknown, and it's up to you to defeat it. Only you can prevent giant robots. Be prepared for the battle to end all battles. We eagerly await our fans' feedback on the games. Please feel free to contact us. We will take your comments into consideration to ensure our next game is even better. But you didn't include a phone number. What, you want me to write snail mail? What do you think this is? And just for the sake of it, let's check out our magazine. Good lord, it's already gone up to 360. This is highway robbery. See, even Larry the Bird doesn't appreciate this. Anyway. A new twist in the Haggleman series. Unbelievable news! A Haggleman movie? don't get too excited. We're not going to be allowed to see this in-game. In advance of Haggleman's 2 release, it's been pandemonium at game stores as pre-orders come pouring in like an avalanche. What an outpouring of support. It looks like Haggleman 2 will far surpass the popularity of the first game. We've also heard rumors about a Haggleman movie. The movie images we've seen look legit. Seems legit. Everything to know about Haggleman 2, Part 1. The stages and the enemies are tougher. The largest difference from 1 is the stage size. Man, and you thought just stage size inflation was the thing until open world games came out? Oh, no. Also, the new enemy reinforcement system increases enemy numbers, and bosses take 3 hits to beat. You can still take advantage of their iframes, though, so it's not that big a deal. Okay, yeah, the door codes go the same way. Go backwards, be restored to full health, go forwards to get an upgrade. And there are 2 new items. The repair item lets you repair yourself without doing the code, that can only be used once per stage. And the hourglass gives you more time. Considering the increased scale of this game, both of those are things we actually kinda care about. Robot Ninja Haggleman 2, In-Depth Review. A milestone in advanced action games. This game is the much-anticipated sequel to the most popular action game ever. While keeping the basic gameplay, the expanded levels and tougher enemies make this game a much different beast. With challenges and secrets to be discovered, this game is a true masterpiece. Alright, we've made a big deal about it. And yep, every game in the entire game has the same continue code still. And the bit I'm excited for, Special Gaudia Quest Preview. Things are reaching a fevered pitch. In the time leading up to its release, excitement is growing rapidly. This month, read battle screen to whet your appetite. Are the marks over the enemy key to damage? Spoiler alert, the answer is yes. It's coming out in 2 weeks. Oh, I'm so excited. Alright, and the Q&A section. Gaudia Quest is coming out, right? Or it's been delayed. From one Homosexual in Illinois. Here's from the publisher, quoted by Johnny England. We want to apologize to all our fans for all the delays. We're going to do everything in our power to make the new 12/31 release date. Oh boy. Star Prince is in first. Wing Commander Rygar is in second. Legend of the Phantom Mage. The Ikari Chronicles. And Robot Ninja Haggleman. And lastly, from the Editor-in-Chief. Once again, thanks to all who support Game Fan Magazine, and an apology to those who missed out on Rally King SP. I don't worry, they didn't miss out on much. Gaudia Quest goes on sale in 2 weeks, and like all of you, I'll be lined up before dawn. There's some evil rumors with the release date, but I have faith that it will be out soon. It's not gonna be out on time, is it? Well, that's enough stalling for one day. Let's play some video games. First challenge is to kill 2 in 1 door. I might do that accidentally. I might beat the game without doing it at all. I'm bad at these sort of stuff. But you know what's not bad? That title screen. It's funny, actually. How just putting the game in and saying, oh, this is a modern game, it's an old NES game, and letting you play an even earlier sequel suddenly makes that incredibly basic panning upwards effect suddenly the coolest shit in the entire world. Getting nostalgic, and I wasn't even alive in '86. Anyway, let's push start. Blue, blue, blue. Oh my god, are those graphics? Kinda.
Good luck, man.
Wish I could run that fast in game. That'd be really convenient. Alright, we want 2 in 1. As you can see, the challenges in this game are incredibly difficult. For a second there, I wasn't sure I was gonna make it. The princess got kidnapped again? How many times is she gonna get kidnapped? Well, let me tell you a secret, Arino. Games have repetitive plot sometimes. And the bad guys are persistent, but the princess... maybe she likes getting kidnapped? Oh god. Arino's gonna write one of those sorts of fics. Everybody take cover! You beat it already? Not bad. Looks like you still remember how to play. Okay, from my perspective, it's only been like 3 days since the last time I streamed this, but... has my dude actually been I asked this question already and I want an answer. Let's move on to the next challenge then. No, we don't need this. We need answers. Your next challenge is this. Don't ignore me. Anyway, make 3 scrolls, call a friend. Scrolls can be found behind doors. Stages in Haggle Man 2 are pretty big, so I'm sure you don't miss any scrolls. Anyway, cowabunga! I'm glad you're so good at recognizing the essence of a game after less than a minute of playtime. It's super cool how you can have fun playing sequels. I mean... don't think it's an either-or option, but I do enjoy playing sequels to games sometimes, so I guess I love sequels. Everyone loves the sequels, they're a terrific athlete. I agree. New is good, but I'll always welcome sequels. I hope they make more Haggle Man sequels like 3, or even... do I dare to dream... 4. Plot twist, they're gonna come out with Haggle Man 4, but not Haggle Man. Okay. Okay, let's actually see if we can get some playtime on this bad boy. I can't believe the princess gets kidnapped again every time I hit the start button. Already got 1 already. Alright, gather up. Take that. 2 scrolls. This poor game is not getting a chance to show off anything it's got going for it. And... now die! Yeah, you can see it because of the freeze frame. We are only hitting that one Monster Ninja. I wish they had a more convenient name. Who is on a vertical line with us, or a horizontal line with us, rather. That is K9's flaw. But hey, now that we have the ability to activate him manually, we at least don't have to worry about not getting it. At all. Ever. Dude, there was this game I just had to have. But it's pretty old, so the stores didn't hold it anymore. I was about to give up when I found it in the used section. I got, like, super excited. Of course, I bought it right away. But when I got home and opened the box, the last owner's name was written on the cartridge. I was totally disappointed, so I returned it. Oh, that's weird. You beat it quicker than I imagined. He says this regardless of how long you take. I'm not, like, getting praised for actually being good at games. Because as we all know, I'm not. I'm gonna make this next one super hard. Your next challenge is this. Kill a boss. But our actual challenge, if we read past the headline in the way most people don't... Excuse me. Force the boss out from behind the door, get him out with some enemies still alive. Yep, force the boss out from behind the door. Just make sure, do you know how to force the boss out? Right, I'm very bad at this. Once you've found the boss, hold up on the control pad to stay behind the door until the boss comes out. Maybe I'm being too nice. I can be nice if I want to. I'm evil, that doesn't mean I'm full of crap. Yeah, no, did you go outside and touch grass? How would you do that? Go. Shut up, dude, I'm not playing around. I just finished reading this month's Game Fan magazine. There was some majorly bogus news. Yep, can't say I didn't say this coming. Mainly because I've played this game before, but delaying the release of Guardian Quest again. Oh no. I was so looking forward to it. What am I supposed to do with my broken heart? I must see the carnage for myself. I gotta know. We have bad news for our readers. Guardia Quest, set to release on December 31st, will be delayed yet again. It looks like due to quality issues, the size of the game will not fit on any currently available ROMs. How sad. Very disappointing. See, it's funny because since this is a minigame, Guardia Quest is an extremely small RPG. Enemies may look the same, but their colors and attack patterns are different. Look at this Zakko. I guess lesser ninjas are what they call Zakkos. Anyway, purple Zakkos have a projectile attack. Don't be fooled. They will fuck you up very severely if you don't attack them strategically. It's more of a puzzle platformer with action elements than a real action platform like Super Mario Bros. Or Mega Man. Which is what they're setting it up to be. Anyway, after Chingensai's defeat, he upgraded his body and now he's slightly less terrible. At the pause screen, enter the code. The code has changed. It is now up, down, BAA. Once per game, so be careful. Down, up, AABB. Gets you 3 scrolls instantly. Can only be used once per stage. And at the opening screen on a per level basis, hold up left, then press A and B at the same time, and the timer will show infinity. You know, I admit the NES is not like a super deep encyclopedic knowledge thing I have, but it's kind of weird that they had these like super traditionalistic cheat codes. I mean, this late in. I mean, the way they're talking about this game, it's, you know, a sequel to previous games starring a robot. It's got... spoiler, it's going to sell massively because it's part of a massive franchise. They're kind of setting this up to be a take on Mega Man 2. But, like, Mega Man 2 didn't feature cheat codes of this sort, did it? I mean, I get it's a sort of concession to beatability for people who are more into RPGs and shooters than platform games, but it's still I don't know, I'm probably the only person on Earth stuff like this bothers. And from the Q&A section, if my friend won't give me back a game I lent, what should I do? From Amanda Huggins from Kentucky. Write your name on your game cards using markers. That way you can prove they're yours. Also, find a boring game and trick your friend so he buys it. It's payback. You know, somewhere a very small child is going to get really salty about the name you wrote on your cartridge, but screw him. Here's what he thinks. With the delay of Guardia Quest, the RPG Wizard Saga sneaks its way in. But it wasn't able to beat the gaming masterpiece. Yes, we found... Good job, Walter, we've cracked the case. Anywho, while Wizard Saga may have been able to ride the Guardia Quest wave, it was not able to beat the masterpiece of game development that is world-class curling. Damn you, world-class curling, will nobody overthrow this unbeatable demon? And from editor Mr. T, we've ended our planned Haggleman 2 coverage. It only took up multiple full magazines, and although I no longer have to work on it, I'm playing it almost non-stop at home. Thank you, Gears, for an incredible game. The Guardia Quest delay is a bummer. Here's hoping that everything will get fixed and the game will be released soon. Alright, now can we play some actual Haggleman? This is a game where my completionistic instincts are really working against me. Hope you like reading. Surprise, motherfucker! Incredible, he was able to grab her without even closing his hands. Okay, our challenge is to expel a boss without beating all enemies. Not what I was looking for, but I guess I'll take it. Wait a minute, that dude was actually two dudes. Are you? Anyway, in addition to their obvious effect, time-up items will also... There he is! And once we've got him, he's not that big a deal. Dick. I swear this is one of the better games in the collection. We just need a chance for the game to actually let us play it. I don't know if I should be telling you this, but the other day I saw something seriously scary. I was going to the bathroom late at night when I heard, whoa, and yes, and take that. Coming from this very room. I thought maybe it was a burglar or a monster. So I was a little scared, but I threw the door open. You know what I saw? My mom was playing my games! And she was super good at Haggleman too! My mom, she tells us all the time, stop playing! Dude, it was scary. She was better than you! Jesus Christ, how horrifying. Alright, here's your last Haggleman challenge. That's 2 compared to 1. I don't know, you won't give me a chance to play the damn thing. To be honest, I haven't beaten it yet. Well, I already know. Already sent us here because he's salty about how bad he is at modern games, but he's not any good at classic games either. Anyway, your next challenge is this. My god, an actual game challenge. We have to beat the 4th floor. You can use continues or cheats. Wouldn't want to, like, actually challenge our challenge game. Yep, our challenge is just to beat the 4th floor of Haggleman 2. Okay, how you do it, just do it. Even my mom can do this one. That's right, my mom. Yeah, well, your mom is so fat that she probably gets severely discriminated against when she applies to work, even though it's actually just a medical condition. It looks like it's popular now to base games off comic books. And I love this game, but it keeps teasing me with, like, things it doesn't do that I wish it did do. I've had this conversation multiple times already, though. They should make a game based on my favorite comic, Wonder Chick. I'll be happy as long as it doesn't totally suck. I suppose we should probably talk about Haggle Man at least a little before we throw it in the finished games bin. I was thinking, why are the enemies so much stronger in Part 2 when Haggle Man is still the same? It's not cool. I bet they forgot about Haggle Man. Tragic. Abandoned by his own game. How sad. The other day, I called Game Fan Magazine and I kept asking them for hints on how to beat this one game. And at first they wouldn't tell me anything, but at the end they gave me a little hint. Ooh, exciting. They told me Playmore. Wait, that's not a hint. I already know. In this one game, there was this password, but I couldn't tell if one of the letters was an N or an H. Then I thought, what if they had both numbers and letters in the password? How'd you know if it's a capital O or a 0? Yeah, imagine having difficulty with passwords in a video game. Play the Haggle Man already.
Game on!
Okay, let's see if this game is actually challenging when your play session lasts over a minute. You know, the princess probably wouldn't get kidnapped so much if she just stopped hanging around unsupervised in wide open fields. I mean, come on, Haggle Man's right there. You couldn't just ask him to keep an eye on you if you're gonna go walk around without your guards. You have guards, you're a princess, you should logically have guards. Surprise, motherfucker. Give me those items. Boink. Who else wants some? Right, up you go. Suddenly. Yep, as they advertised. The repair item is good points even if you don't actually need repairs. Where are you going, buddy? Oh, that's him. Come on back. Let's see what's behind door number die. Decent time bonus, but we didn't get any items. Our next boss is a generic enemy we've already beaten. I wonder how that's going to work.
Whoa!
Dick. Do that. God, that's so much blood. These guys are assholes. Nope. I don't care if you're evil, but at least fight sensibly. That ought to learn ya. I don't actually know what the benefit of the large Robo Shuriken is over the small one.
Alright!
We think this is rapid fire, but it's not that rapid fire. Oh, hey, it's that guy. Hey, I'm over here. It was an ugly, aesthetically unpleasing clear, but it was a clear, and at the end of the day, isn't that all we care about? Yeah, step on him. Oh god, now the enemies have projectiles. This is actually kind of difficult. So as you can see, the enemy AI in this game is incredibly good and not at all easily exploited.
Good luck, man.
Like all great ninjas, you can of course hide as your greatest strategy. Walk away from me when I'm busy fighting you. The Aboros are very bad at actually, like, going up to you and fighting you. I'll take it. See ya, liar. You'll not make a liar out of me. There's 2 hits. Yeah. My god, it's actually like a real action game now. Unfortunately, it did disappear into the ether. It was super fun, as expected. It actually was. I hope there's another sequel. No way. When will the challenges end? You okay with just playing games all the time? I mean, no, I would like something that would make me month at some point. Well, I guess it's best to take it easy. Wait, no, I saw some old dude. My god, I'm old! This isn't possible, I'm too young to be old! Need to act my age. What's my age again? God, the quest is out now. Alright, now I find myself at a bit of a crossroads. I'll just let Ajino explain the challenge first before I know you've been waiting. You were dying for this one. Well, here it is. Your next game is Guardia Quest. Your first challenge is this. Reach Timbuktu and get there. When you get there, save to finish the challenge. Play Guardia Quest and get to Timbuktu. You'll need to learn the world first. If you don't level up, walking around at random will get you killed. Let's keep on kicking. The wait is over. At last. Finally. A worthy opponent. Guardia Quest is out. Delay after delay, I thought it'd never come out. You know, if there's one complaint about the Guardia Quest getting delayed arc I have, it's that I don't think they milked it enough. Like, this payoff does not seem, like, worthy of a gimmick that's only come out twice. Might as well stretch it out over the entire game. I was kind of worried there, but it's finally out. I waited in line overnight for it. The line was super long. Guess my mom to buy the magazine for me. To make sure she should buy the special edition. Why would you not want the special edition? You don't know what a special edition... No, that is not what I said. That is a whole-ass other sentence. Special edition, Game Fan Magazine. It's Game Fan Magazine's special edition. That's why it's called Game Fan Magazine's special edition. Mom always mixes the two up when I ask for Game Fan. Anyway, I'm good. Trash. Have fun with the game. Anyway, so as I was saying, Gaudia Quest is our RPG representative here in this tour of everything the NES had to offer. And that means that, contrary to what we just did, its challenges are quite long, decently involved, and could probably have a stream, like, each just doing 1, 2, maybe 3 for the early ones. It's kind of unbalanced, and it probably doesn't bother you, but it bothers me. Anyway, the wait is over. Gaudia Quest is here. A recap of all our Gaudia Quest coverage. A true RPG based on the adventures of 3 heroes. I don't know who's writing this, so I can't decide what voice to do. The biggest names in the industry joined forces to create a truly amazing game. I'm the executive producer. After many delays, it's finally arrived. Now it is up to you, the players, to decide whether or not we've delivered a gaming masterpiece. So our big thing that stops this from just being an unlicensed port of Dragon Quest II is this, the marks system. There are 5 marks with 8 random sets for each weapon. Some ones can either miss or do great damage, while others deal average damage consistently. This is basically accuracy represented differently. There are a lot of games that have like 1 or 2 gimmick weapons like this, but it is everywhere for everything with Gaudia Quest. And our other big gimmick is that it's also kind of a Mons game. If you see an enemy with Gaudia in its name, you can use the Pact command. The monster will become more powerful, but if you defeat it, it will join your party as a Gaudia. Gaudia are monsters that, when called, will assist you in battle. By when called, they mean automatically, you cannot actually call them. There are 24 different magic spells in Gaudia Quest. Your female party member is weak physically, but her magic skills will make up for that. Her healing spell is a must-have in battle during the long adventure. Be sure to heal after every battle. And, kind of a gimmick, our ongoing series, The World of Gaudia Quest. The Adventures of J. England, Day 1. Day 1. Just received money and items from the king. I immediately bought some healing items from the store. I also found an armory, but after buying all those items, I didn't have any money left. Traveled south from castle to a town. The shop had different items. Why does titanium have the same buy-sell price? Day 2. Talked to the ducks in town. All they said was quack. That's wacky. That's wacky. Entered the first dungeon. Was immediately killed. Found Fire Gaudia. Used the Pact command. Was immediately killed. Was revived by the now angry king. Realized money was halved. And I was saving up. Would titanium have helped me? Maybe to protect my money? Protect my money? Nudge nudge. Wink wink. That is the purpose of titanium. An in-depth Gaudia Quest review. An ultra-refined, ultra-challenging masterpiece. With its unique hackmark system and Gaudia Pact ability, Gaudia Quest stands alone amongst RPGs. Its speedy progression and do-or-die battles make the game exciting. Though repeatedly delayed with its incredible monster design and epic storyline, this game was worth the wait. And we have a Haggleman Stage Select command. A Stage Select command was found in Haggleman 2, that's why we're reporting on the Haggleman Stage Select. At the title screen, input double quarter circle forward while holding down A. The upper right, you will see the floor selection option. Choose a floor, press start. Man, there sure are a lot of cheat codes for games we've suspiciously already beaten. Beaten. It's not your words. Chew your food, not your words. Wonder if we're gonna have to come back to that at some point. Anyway, grinding in RPGs is a pain in the butt. Are there any easier ways of leveling up? Be a problem in Oregon. One way is to make your younger siblings do it for you. By doing it yourself, you get to experience the joys and sorrows that come from playing games. How long will Haggle Man 2 keep selling? Another game needs to step up. God. Curious about that lunar tennis game. Oh, game, why do you keep taunting me with the game you could have been? Anyway, the Milkman. It's my last month as editor-in-chief, and I'm bringing you a huge scoop. It involves a certain hugely popular action game currently on sale. I heard that the next installment will be radically different from before. I can't mention the name of this game, but you probably know what I'm talking about. Okay, as I was saying earlier, we could go straight into Gaudia Quest, but I feel like a lot of the previous games went by so quickly we didn't really have a chance to show them off. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. We'll call this a show-off round. We saw very little of Haggle Man 2, even with our previous playthrough. There's no rush, we've got the rest of the decade. Let's actually see if I get salty when I'm actually playing to win.
Okay, let's do this.
Alright, chums, let's do this. Leroy Jeremies.
Nice. Whoa.
Dick. Come on, say hello. Maximum power.
Alright.
Alright, asshole, come out and say hello.
Huh?
That ought to learn ya. God, these enemies are scary.
Nice.
But not so scary that I couldn't beat them. It's on the first stage. That's probably not a good sign.
Let's do it.
Stage 2. Fight. It really... I was joking, but it really is noticeable just how much they're expanding the game's scale just right out of the starting gate. Come on, I hit that guy square in the face. You all saw it. Do that. Give me all your shit. Casualties confirmed on that end. If we just make all the doors blue, then we can just clear the screen on a moment's notice. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Haha. That ought to learn ya. God, how many dudes are in this game? Fine, we'll do it the hard way. Not having a spirit gear means there's no sense of self-preservation to stop you from walking directly into enemy bullets. Of course, I also have absolutely nothing stopping me from walking into enemy bullets a lot of the time. Dear God, that is so much death. Do you think Haggle Man's gonna wind up with PTSD from having to slaughter so many of his fellow bots? I can see that being the angle they're going for. He's the only robot with a heart. He's a shameless Mega Man knockoff. You're going all the way up there, are yous? He's too far away. Don't you walk away from me. Alright, we are making, as they say in the old country, progress.
Good luck, man.
Next up on the chopping block, we have a lot of skulls, and that guy who's just not actually a skull, but is just wearing one. Asshole. Yes, anime. Thought that was a power-up item, but it was actually just a thing. That ought to learn ya. Come on, please, please don't have your iframes block this. Dang it. Alright, heal. The lack of spirit gear also gives you an uncontrollable compulsion to laugh at people every time they fail to hurt you, even if doing so would cause them to hurt you.
Don't mess up.
Anyway, we now arrive in a new territory. This item's ability is to let us go fast. I can't kill any of these dudes.
Alright.
Give me a scroll. As we'll remember from our readings, in the best spot of them all for Game Information, Game Fan Magazine, purple ninjas throw throwing stars, which will screw you up if you try to make frontal attack. Took me a lot of playthroughs to unlearn that muscle memory.
Don't mess up.
You might be a robot, but it's important to play like a ninja. Be tactical. Be surgical. Don't be slow. Sometimes you just have to kill a lot of dudes very quickly.
Alright.
Sometimes you just have to kick people in the face. Just to show that you can. Dark Hags is...
You got it.
Come on up, come on up. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. The door is the ultimate weapon, and no enemy can defeat it. That's not just video game advice, it also applies to real life. Jerk.
Alright!
So they're just completely immune to
Alright!
throwing stars now, not just no-selling them, but... Or rather, just no-selling them, no more stopping to laugh at us. And I can't even jump.
Huh? Yes! Oh, dude!
Oh, come on. I was... God, these guys are speedy. As this game does suffer from the greatest problem where you die once and then you lose all your upgrades, which means you can just die instantly for the rest of the game.
Holy...
And also, sometimes doors just don't open because you're in the process of trying to, you know, actually step on some ground.
Whoa!
Sometimes there's just nowhere to leave. It doesn't feel like a cheat code, it just feels like a continue option. Why would you not list that as part of... Alright, everybody come on over. Don't play it like that, do ya? Skulls are damn near impossible to defeat, ironically mostly because they're impossible to actually, like... Of course, now he goes up there. Everyone die. Give me back my items. Keep going at this rate, and maybe we'll actually be back to a fighting fit by stage 10, loop 2. God, it feels like you're moving through molasses. There.
Good!
That do anything for ya? Where is this jerk? So he should be stuck there now. Give. Where is he? Okay, he's just strutting. You needed doors too? Alright, we'll head him off at the pass, boys. Where are you going? Don't you walk away from me. Okay, gotta go sleep. Good luck with her. Okay, good night, Walter. Hey, I did it.
Nice.
Walter, your comment gave me power. Thank you, goodbye. I like talking to you.
This is it.
This is it, Luigi. There are Haggle's men everywhere. That one was in fact my own damn fault.
All right. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No.
Ah, mass death and destruction. Whoa! I can just get that one item. I don't think Shingensa himself can be summoned from. Is that a thing I just saw, or was that not a thing I just saw? Where are you? I know you exist. I'm the ninja here, you can't hide from me. Oh god, now he's moving at high velocities. No.
Yeehaw!
Alright, are you gonna fall for the other guy? What? She can! And it's even easier this time.
Nice.
My god, I love video games sometimes. Hey, we did it. Those seem like pretty complicated lighting effects for an NES game. I mean, I'm not an expert, but oh no, he changed clothes!
Serious?
I am serious, I know. Don't call me Shirley. Here comes a new challenger, and by a new challenger I mean same old challenger.
Whoa. Huh? Holy.
Everyone die.
Oh.
Till the bodies blot out the sun. Ah, progress. It wouldn't be an NES game without a second loop. Once. How to learn ya? No, 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 no. Getting.
Don't mess up.
Start shit with me, game. I could buy and sell you. Because that's what you do with video games.
Huh?
Get enough points, maybe I'll be able to get back my health, or my life that I lost. And then we can all move on with our lives.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was a rookie mistake. Come back here and let me stab you. Not today, bitch. Alright, clear some space. Can't believe you. Joik? I will admit I completely forgot that was an option. There. That ought to learn ya. Next stage. Not sure what I was expected to do about that. I sit back and just wait politely for all of the enemies to impale themselves on my doors. Can you impale someone on a door? Because I can. That wasn't a rhetorical question, that was mere bragging. You succeed by keeping your options open. Dark Ninja Hakuruman. My mortal enemy. Don't go having iframes in my presence. Joik. It is possible to try to fight too hard. Sometimes there's just a big old clusterfuck and your best option is to hide. And sometimes you just need to milk items for a lot of points. It's all dependent on context. Come out and play! Did they increase the frequency of this occurring, or am I just getting obscenely lucky? I don't know. I never looked it up. Okay. You went in the box. Nobody puts me in a box. Assholes, you wanna play ball? That ought to learn ya. Give me that. That too. To progress. God, life is expensive. Where's this game set? Japan or America?
You got it!
I'll just spend this now because I'm gonna forget if I stall for too long.
Alright!
Why are there any doors on this train?
Whoa!
Where is he? Come on. That didn't go off. Why didn't that go off?
Holy!
Where are you and why can't I jump on your face? Through Dark Haggle Man, all my homies hate Dark Haggle Man. You guys going to seriously time me out. Alright, once we manage to get him into the room, he's usually not that bad. We did it. Hooray. You know, without the Shadow Clone cutscenes or the him getting back up cutscenes, it really looks like Dark Haggle Man has been retconned from being one guy to just a series of androids. But the manual still talks about him like he's just one guy. A conundrum. I don't know if there is any way out of here.
Alright! Whoa, what? Man, this is tough.
Now, the thing that really grinds my spirit gears is that there's no way that I can see out of this opening area to consistently not get your shit backed. Why did I stall? I could have just killed that guy and been done with it. There's, I don't see any way to consistently do this without getting hit. I don't see any way to go anywhere else and not get my shit wrecked. Just automatically in principle. There we go. More dark. The only good Dark Haggle Man is a dead Dark Haggle Man. Come on over. Go with the next contestant on The Price is Die. Is that the intended strategy? We just hit the choke points? Probably some K9 to do our jobs for us. Now you're immune to doors now, aren't you? We're tired of dealing with you. There we go. Alright, how many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? Why does everyone move faster than me? This is just unplayable. That was my own goddamn fault. But honestly, what other options did I have? Now I'll show you. Go in the door. Go in the door when I tell you to go in the door. Hageruman, please. Not dead yet. Hey sir, I want some more. Not what I was gunning for, but I guess I'll take it. Come on over. Don't be shy. I'm only gonna kill you a little. What are you doing over there? Come back here and fight me like a man, you coward. I really thought that was the last of it. Yep. Gameplay. Where is he? Where is he? Warrior, come out to play. Yay. There he is. Oh no. Blue's the color to aim for.
Dude!
Oh Christ, this is touchy. Alright, time's tight, but I've got him in the loop.
Nice.
Okay, now, can we do the actual final boss without any speed hacks? I'm not confident, if we're being honest.
No.
Last floor. Here comes a new challenger. Alright, he's stomping around. Oh, what? Okay, so it is just a matter of jumping on him.
Almost had it.
Just gotta worry about how to get up there in the first place. And yep, get it out of your system. Take cover. 2, 3. Charcoal. They're tied. I can't tell if this is difficult or if it's just not programmed to be played by people who don't currently have all upgrade items. You know, statistically speaking, somebody who's almost certainly going to have to fight this boss. Out you go. Steppy. One, 2, 3, 4. Look at him just stomping around like he thinks he owns the place. Ironically, that actually got easier as we made progress. The longer the cycle he gives you to just walk through his giant, obvious blind spot, the better. Alright, this is the first time we've actually beaten a game on stream. I'm proud of myself. So let's sit back and see what the game actually has to show for us. This looks familiar. What they do in the shadows, we might never know. That really is pretty. I mean, it doesn't really look like it was done by, like, on an NES, but it's, pretty nice. Also appreciate them leaving Otasuke Trio untranslated. It's a very true-to-life sort of, yeah, they would have made that mistake. And of course, enemies all have different names. Well, a lot of the enemies have different names than they did in the manual. Cause what, you think we're gonna unify your terminology across multiple sources? What are you talking about? Jingensai, our only boss enemy. And a good day to Jingensai. He's like Jingensai, but better. Jingensai, and the cool Jingensai. Haggle Man 2. Happy end. Way. Now we're just gonna be here. Forever. Can never leave. Or we could just hit A. Yep. They're NES games, it really plays them for the endings. Except, of course, weirdos like Audino. And me, who plays RPGs. It works. Dude, the monsters in Guardia Quest look super cool. The music's super awesome, too. I've waited so long. But it was totally worth the wait. But I hope I never have to wait years for a game ever again. Especially not an RPG. That would be unbearable. I mean, I'll become an old man while waiting. You know comedians are called stand-up comics? What if there was a sit-down comic? Wouldn't it be funny? Next time I'll tell you a joke sitting down, okay? I know, I've never seen you talk to me while standing in the entire time we've known each other. But yes, I know that's the point. Everyone knows jokes are inherently funnier when you sit down while telling them. That's why VTubers own those expensive gaming chairs. Is this... I know you... Looks like there's a rush of games coming out now. These cool-looking games are coming out every week. My allowance isn't big enough to buy them all. Wish I were older so I could buy tons of games. I know I have bad news for you. Okay, not you, you do this for a living when you're adult, but I've got bad news for the rest of us. That duck sure talks a lot. That he does. That he does. Oh, you're just like him, talking nonsense all the time. Oh, come to think of it, you were like that since you were born. You were saying Mom before you even babble. Oh, I remember this other time when you were... Stare. I personally think my mom talks a whole lot more than me. My friend told me this in complete secrecy. He said that the megabyte relates to how fun the game is. The more megabytes, the more cool stuff there is. Truly, Audino is a master of games technology. It's details like that that are why they pay him the big bucks. Anyway, I think it's about time we stop stalling by talking about random other bullshit and start getting on another game. I want to save the start of God Eclipse for its own video. Let's employ the rhetorical technique of telling stories out of chronological order and play the first Haggle Man. Yeah, dude, we beat it. Wonk. And you can already see the downgrade. I mean, they can't even move a camera anymore. Honestly, what is the world coming to? Alright, let's play the game. Couldn't even afford a background artist. Honestly, how disappointing. Oh my gosh, this has never happened before! Someone kidnapped the princess? Oh no. Will Haggle Man be able to save the day? Will he survive to see the sequel? Find out all this and more next time on Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if that was the same stinger we heard last time. Have I just gone insane? Is my brain leaving me? Please don't take my brain from me, it's all I have left. Dangerous boss battles, everybody. Yeah, it was a fairly obvious upgrade in hindsight.
Good luck, man.
Here comes a new challenger.
Dude!
Why do you have so many iframes, Dark Haggle Man?
Yeah!
See, that Dark Haggle Man was definitely the same dude. He had to get up and leave so he could go to the next stage. And yet he stopped doing that around the time he developed a personality. What are you laughing at? Huh? Think you're hot shit? Can't even handle having a door slammed on your face. You're nothing, you hear me? Nothing. Nah, oh, he won't come back on screen. Oh god, how could they ever have expected me to come back to this? At least nobody in this game has projectiles anymore. Why even bother animating him jumping upwards if he's just going to despawn before he leaves anyway? At least do a little, like, puff of ninja smoke animation or something criminy. You know, ninja smoke. What happens if you blend ninjas? You shouldn't do that. Will they blend? That is the question. Here come the dudes. Problem solved. The Dark Ninja Haggle Man, to use his full title, is really the only one here who feels like a real boss. With 1 HP, everyone else just dies the way they do when they're normal enemies. Oh man, that's so thoroughly useless.
Alright!
Everybody step forward and impale yourselves. Meant to do that. I'm playing like a coward because I still have PTSD from last round, but all of these enemies can be killed very easily with just a direct frontal assault. Except that guy who instead can just be thrown out. Sir, Let me show you the door.
Let's do it!
Now. Don't do that, that's rude. But is there any value whatsoever to me picking this up?
You got it!
Nope.
Good!
Goodbye.
Dude! Whoa!
What the flim-flam?
Yay!
Man. He's stuck in a loop and he couldn't get to him. And now there go all- okay, yes, give me that, give me that, give me that. That is the most important power-up in the game, in my opinion. Good luck killing guys you can't even move towards.
Whoa! Yes!
Sometimes it really does just come down to luck of the draw where you find him in the first place. Sometimes the boss spawns directly on top of a kill space, sometimes he spawns in a perfect loop away from you. Dark Haggle Man, you got a new paint job! Alright, let's make the bad guys go to sleep for a hot second.
Whoa!
Please, baby. Rapid fire. That'll teach you. Go outside. Or go inside. Not sure what I'm even arguing here. Anyway, he's dead now.
Dude!
I killed him. We'll never hear from him again.
Alright!
Truly, the genius scientist Chingensai is a formidable opponent.
Yay!
Alright, we are at net ±0 lives lost. This is a considerably simpler game than the last one. As, you know, is to be expected. My god, it's so blue. I can see forever. Congratulations, you saved the princess. What? People read slowly back then. I Chingensai, I thought I died. Your adventure is not end.
Don't mess up!
Now I get to fight these guys again.
Huh?
These purple mooks will not use Shuriken on us because this is the first game and they gotta play it easy.
Good!
I'm so fast!
Whoa!
Stop. Stop what you were doing.
Nice!
You stop that right now. Shit on you.
Let's do it!
So these Yoroi enemies that are the boss of this stage, they're supposed to be like samurai. I assume as part of a samurai versus ninja. I don't know why I ran to get that so quickly. Alright. They're presumably set up as part. Oh, that's just everyone on this floor. That's nifty. Got him. But in actuality, a majority of samurai or well, you have square circle, a majority of ninjas were samurai. The ninja history of the ninjas as peasants who turned mercenary and fought with farm implements is very much a combination of the idea of, you know, heroic peasant militias crossed with the actual story of the samurai guys. Don't really have any strong opinions on that, I just think it's interesting to know the true story. It's not even worth any points. Now I can outrun even the mightiest of samurai. Oh, hey, Dog Haggle, man, I thought you died. Come on, over here. Yeah! You jump right the hell over that. I think just because you're a circle, you can beat me. I'm not a circle. I'm practically a rectangle. Alright. You guys are the type who laugh at doors. You guys are the type who laugh at everything. Still no projectiles, though. Dear God, they're dying by the hundreds of the humanity! True, a boss battle worthy of mid-game, end-game, where even are we? Mid-game. Alright, now they finally figured out the mysteries of the using a projectile.
You got it!
Not taking any chances, and I don't like having these things and not using them.
Whoa!
Come on, I landed directly on top of that guy.
Hey!
See, boss battles are scary because they're just normal enemies, but you only fight one of them in the entire stage. We go.
Whoa!
I don't know if I've shown that off before, but yeah, like you just saw, you can, in fact, deflect those enemy projectiles. They will not die from anything, but anything that deals damage and isn't you jumping on them will stun them for a second. Exactly 1 second, to be clear. He shot me. He shot me right in the face. Who does that? Anyway, the more enemies we can make dead, the better. It dies here than I'd prefer, but it worked. Hey, you can just drop down? That's just a thing you can do? That's right, baby. Walk into the trap.
Hey.
We're making progress.
This is it.
And next up, Chingensai. Hardy har har yourself. With your hot shit.
One up,
Do
baby.
that. Right, is that everyone? Do we have room to breathe now? Reduce all of the enemies to motion powder.
Oh, you got it.
Go, my dog! Be useful to my purposes. Wow, I can't believe Robot Ninja Dark Haggle Man is actually dead in real life.
All right.
Red Chingensai is not different from Green Chingensai anyway. He will die just as quickly to the exact same AI loop. And there we have it. 2 Hagglemans down in one video. That's incredible. Congratulations, you saved the princess. Happy end! We didn't have the budget to compose a different song, so just listen to this again. Alright, did you get that out of your system? Not even a credits roll. Fantastic. Alright, I think we have time to play one more game. Yeah, it's been a while since we last played anything resembling Cosmic Gates. And we did learn a little something from one of these magazines. When was it? Yeah, was it this issue? I think it was after this. Or before this, rather. Alright, one of you tells me what I need to know. Tell me your secrets! I remember which book it was. There. Down BBA.
Oh, what the?
Yep. It's green. Galactic Year 2550. Whilst patrolling around the M32 Nebula for the Galactic Alliance, you receive a distress call from the Earth. On your way back to Earth aboard your fighter, the Infinity, you are ambushed by mass insectors. Humanity must deadly. The challenge to the protector of the Mother Earth now its war of attrition against the mass insectors, the scourge of the human beings. Everybody got that? Anyway, let's see what hard mode has to offer us. And just for double points, let's warp later in the game. That's some real difficult. Oh, bubble. What the hell? You're not supposed to shoot at me. Yep, you just keep on... What are those projectiles supposed to be? Are you spitting acid, or are you...
Let's go!
So I missed. I mean, ladybugs aren't particularly known for spitting acid. These are space ladybugs and not real. But why would they design themselves after ladybugs if they didn't want us to make that association?
Whoa!
There we go. Well, boys, it's been real, but I'm gonna have to leave you now. Right after I take this. Thank you. 3 times the firepower, I can now leave you 3 times as quickly.
Go!
Come on, line up. Line right up, line right up. You're the next contestant.
Nice!
The price is die.
What?
That's so many.
Dude!
Jerk. Not supposed to come at people from behind in Galaga. What is this? You watch your tone when you talk to me. Just doing their loop-de-loops.
Whoa! All right!
Let's get my item back. Come on. There we go. Loop-de-loop, flip-flop, flying in an airplane. And here's the asteroid zone. Shoot the many asteroids. Just have a little faith in yourself and stay the course. You should not be dying on these are bonus stages. Come on, 2 in 1 go, 2 in 1 go! Yeah. Yeah! Sorry, I can't exactly have both hands on the controller and one on the hotkey simultaneously. So if I look like I'm more bored when I'm gaming than not, that's why. Next stage. Whoomp. Whoomp. Everybody get all this out of their system and take our leave.
Whoa! Nice!
Watch yourself. Honestly, I do think the basic pew-pew lasers... Oh, have I discovered a good tactic for score attacks? I've never done this before. Alright. Crack it like an egg. Okay. Got a bit touchy for a second there, but we're fine now. So many enemies. That one's moving really fast. What's the matter, buddy? You late for an appointment, criminy. Anyway, we successfully shoot 33 asteroids. I assume the cutoff for the special bonus is just 30.
Let's go!
Who else wants some? Alright, I like your lime green color scheme. It's very alien and it color coordinates with your bullets, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to shoot you.
Oh, nice! Whoa! Oh, nice! Whoa!
You might have noticed this already, but when the boss bugs do that turn into 3 attack, that will in fact kill that enemy. We don't get any points for it, but hey, on the bright side we don't have to deal with him anymore.
Go! Do it! Do it!
Do it! Kill him. Perfect crime. Nobody suspected a thing. Nobody thinks it's even possible. Look at those numbers going up.
Nice!
Stage 20.
Alright! Whoa!
Thank you for the hydrates. And hello, Sage. Thank you for showing up today. We've just unlocked our big RPG game, Gaudia Quest, but it's very long and involved, and I wouldn't want to distract, I guess. Man, that's a lot of asteroids. Yeah, it's very focused.
Mama!
Oh, criminy. Good luck playing. Thank you, Sage. I appreciate the vote of confidence. Alright, how many? I wasn't caping. 40 even. Yeah. I did it. And our special bonus is going up.
Hey, look at you!
Alright, you got that out of your system?
Nice!
Clear a path. Then hit the warp core. Then do another bonus stage. That's the speed score strat. They did say in this game's instruction manual, it was either in the manual or in one of those magazines that I keep raving about, that there are 6 floor stages total in this game, so we're making, like, really good time, actually. I shouldn't be afraid of those big asteroids. They're not actually gonna kill us at all. But I can't get in there. I'll shoot to 27 asteroids. Is the special bonus based off of, stage depth? I can afford to shoot y'all a little more. If you really want it that badly. I almost flew directly into that one. I'm good at this game. Fortunately, as we all know, all shooters have hitboxes that are incredibly prejudiced towards the player.
Whoa! Alright! Whoa! Alright!
God, it's a massacre out here. I got lazy. Now there's nothing left but to just make the bad guys die before they make us die, did.
Whoa!
Bloom. if you just wait for them getting close, they'll die nice and easy. Oh, purple tomatoes, that's where they make that novelty purple ketchup. God, why were there two of you? That rock was actually two rocks. Directed by M. Night Shyamalan. That's right, give us more points. More! More! Stage 32. Oh, now they're doing fancy flying formations. Now you're just showing off, that's what you're doing. I am good at not dying, but I couldn't hit the broadside of a muzzhead. Come on, someone give me the power-up. I need my third shot back. So many Ew, bugs. No one likes bugs, all my homies hate bugs. This is why we appreciate the Spider Bros, because they make the bugs go away. Yes, please and thank you. Give. The perfect crime. Ooh, you're a speedy little bugger, ain't ya?
Let's go!
Now back to hitting the rocks.
Yay!
What are you doing packed so closely together? This is not astronomically plausible. Why are we rewarded for senseless destruction? Are we mining? Are we collecting valuable space minerals from...
Nice!
From whatever the hell this is? Stupid. Try to play this game by your rules. He took the bullet. He took the bullet for his friend. Is this proof that what we thought were merely mindless space aliens are actually faking creatures capable of emotions, empathy, perhaps even love? That was the wrong one. Nah, it's probably just trying to spite me. Jackass. Make the bugs go bye-bye. I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill 'em all. They're just not a thing anymore. Gib.
Right.
Stop hitting me. I'm the one who's supposed to be shooting at you, not the other way around.
Oh, mama!
The more rocks we shoot to, the better the...
That's just sad.
Now we have to wait. What about this one? Can I give you this one?
That's just sad.
Okay, they're playing rough now. Alright, now you're just making fun of me.
Good job.
We got that? Open up. Come on, let me out of the crazy place.
Good.
Make all the rocks explode. Rocks are nice because they don't shoot.
That's just sad.
That game, don't distract me. Who else wants some? Alright, I know some of you have one-ups in them. And of course he just randomly stopped shooting. I could have had 34 asteroids. What a tragic life we lead. When in doubt, shoot at bugs. They're exploding purple now. What chemical makeup do you have to add to a combustion reaction to make it turn purple? I know that's a thing that can be done. I mean, with pyrotechnics, if nothing else. Yep. Yep. Shoot Tid at the bugs until they go away. And then fire up the warp drive and get the hell out of here.
All right.
Stage 48. Here. These orange bugs aren't like a new reaction, they've just been drinking a lot of Fanta lately.
Whoa.
At 49. Yeah, the slowdown. It's like a cool bullet time effect, except it's just in a random game of Galaga. Infinity kills bugs dead. Give.
Whoa.
Yeah. 3 for 3, baby. Now we get to play the real game. Space demolition. Oh, for the love of... Why did I get so bad at this? My shooting thumb's starting to tense up. That's just straight up not possible even with a turbo fire controller. Also, the Turbo Fire controller we got for Star Prince does not work with Cosmic Age, or in fact any other game. That is absolutely not a thing a real NES peripheral could do, but it's not a real NES peripheral, so just go with it.
Hey.
Only 10 stages, I can't die now. At the stage 5 asteroid zone. The important thing is that we don't die. Don't ever forget that.
Whoa, Mama!
Yep, no more one-ups for me under any circumstances ever, it looks like. Give me more points. Oh, well, that one wasn't even worth a singular solitary. Oh, they're getting to the cyber bugs now. This is the late stage. On the plus side, I am playing on hard mode, so I'll be able to brag about that once I get to the end, assuming that's a thing that happens. We're almost there, we're almost there, we're almost there, we're almost there. This is stressful. So you may have been able to tell by the fact that I'm very stressed. Stupid, stupid, stupid place, you're getting cocky. Alright, that wasn't crazy, but it did get us a life.
Good job.
60 of 64, here we go.
Whoa!
Fewer bugs there are, the less likely one of them's gonna get a fake good lucky hit on us. Giant space bot flies think they can beat me. Not if I run away like a coward. Don't even have the power up, but at this point, it seems like I don't need it. And someone is pitching these things out as like baseballs. They are flying.
Do it, do it! Whoa, Mama! One up, baby! No!
Video games are sentient and they do hate you. Don't ever forget
Good job.
that.
This is it.
Alright. My god, they're radioactive. The bugs have finally figured out the power of friendship and Optimus Prime's hot-blooded burning justice. I don't know if I can pull this off. Yes, I am. I'm pretty thoroughly certain I can pull this off, because these guys are lame. See, they killed themselves before
What?
I should just learn to stop talking altogether.
Yeah!
And the final bug politely killed itself for us. Great! Finally, you destroyed all enemies! I mean, except the many stages I skipped, but you know. The end. The result of your battle. I could skip this, but I'm not going to. And our final bonus is a 10k per. Give it a minute, it's not that fast at counting. It's what do you think it is, a computer? Anyway, shock upon horror, we got a high score by being the first person to actually beat the game. Okay, we've passed the 2-hour mark, and we completely beat 3 games today. I don't know, anything you'd like to say to sign us off? Nah, that's too bad. Unfortunately, I'm afraid you will have to wait a bit more, because this is where the stream ends. Thank you all very much for playing today. My name is Mitsuda Madoi. It will still be Mitsuda Madoi next time you see me. I'm a forensic scientist. I will see you all in the future. Next time we will start Guardia Quest, but before that tomorrow is the next episode of Detective Kobayashi. That game's been heating up quite a bit. I'm very excited to see where we're going with that. But in all cases, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.